Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Salty Sweet Games, where we shenanigan, sob, and smooch our way through tabletop role-playing games and scream our way through horror video games on occasion. I am one of your hosts, Salty.
And I'm Sweet.
And these various assorted spices are our friends. And welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, Pulp Cthulhu campaign. Before we go around and meet everyone and their characters, let's do some channel stuff first. A ton of thanks to our sponsors, starting with Roll20, our virtual tabletop of choice, which unites gamers across any distance with easy-to-use tools that run straight from your web browser for free. We are part of their Spotlight program, which highlights indie TTRPG creators all across the interwebs, and we love them very much. And they help us be here. So thank you, Roll20. Go check them out if you have not already. We also have a few other sponsors, being Dice Envy and Grinding Coffee Co., two awesome organizations. You got your physical click-clacks with Dice Envy. You got your soaked beans, your soaked bean juice with Grinding Coffee Co. We have affiliate links and discount codes. You can see them down below in our sponsors panel, support panel. I don't know. I redid all of those. So tell me what you think. Do you like them? I think they're cute, but I want to know what you think. So let me know. What else? Oh, thank you to everybody who has subbed and gifted subs, and you get those sweet, sweet emotes and sub badges and all those good things. I think we're gonna finally get our tier 2 and 3 emotes just to have them. I mean, why not? We'll make them like super enticing and cute. If you have any ideas also, I would like to know them. There are tip incentives in the Affect the Game panel if you would like to help out the wonderful, wonderful characters and keep them from dying or losing a fight to 2 gorillas, which may or may not happen today. Fingers crossed, though. Basically, all of this goes to helping support the channel, compensating the cast, all that good stuff. You can help us keep the lights on and help out the PCs too. Last thing, we here at Salty Sweet Games use safety tools, lines, veils, X and an O cards, stars and wishes, and content warnings, because while the characters may be put through hell, the players are here to have fun, and they are our priority always. Without further ado, let's meet them. Kienna, who are you playing today?
Hey everyone, I'm Kienna. I am the Sweet of the channel. My pronouns are she and they. But today I am playing Irene Blackwell. Her pronouns are she and her. She is the forger of the group. She is currently just vibing off to the side with a notebook from their friend who just got dragged off and is just trying to avoid her ex at the parties. So, you know, perfectly normal times here.
Yes. Wonderful. Allie, who are you? Who are you playing?
Hey, Lauren, I'm your girlfriend. Of course, I'm just in the other room.
Oh.
Also, I love it, Kienna, every time you say she's the forger of the group. Like every group in the world has to have a forger.
They do.
And Irene just happens to be ours. Hey, everybody. I'm in a weird mood today. It's Allie. I play Ganymede Graves, adventure scientist, who over the last several months of her life has traveled to exotic distant lands, met exciting, unusual people, and killed many of them. I have a feeling that's going to happen again today.
Oh. No. No. Let's go down to Summer. Hello, Summer.
Hi, it's me, Summer. I use she, her pronouns, and today I am playing one Mr. Charlie Rapp, who has had a vision from beyond. Really vibing right now. And I think like today is gonna be totally chill and normal because we're on this side of the curtain. You know?
Yeah.
Like what happens on the other side of the curtain, that sounds like Zeb's problem.
Sure.
That's not necessarily like us problem, right? So I'm gonna hope it just keep it behind the curtain, Zeb. That way we don't have to get involved.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And also, Thank you, Pope, for that sub. That is 1 year. That's a whole dang ding dong year. Wow. So many anniversaries happen so close together. It's very exciting. And last but certainly not least, Tommy.
I mean, you better make it your problem, because if you don't and Zeb gets hurt, it's gonna be your problem because of Zeb's sisters. Like,
Oh, true.
Make it your problem.
They're gonna be
It
like,
doesn't matter what happens to me. They're holding me accountable regardless.
But yes, hello, hi, I'm Tommy, he, him, and I play Zebulon Augustine Claiborne Montgomery III, who he is currently in a hairy situation. And I just have this note, the single note from last session on this page of my notes. This is 2 large white apes, and that's all I know. That's all I know.
that's all
Zeb's
you need
fine.
to know. I mean,
Zeb's fine.
I think it's probably fine.
Yeah, Zeb's fine.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So if you've never joined us before, here's a quick summary of the campaign thus far. The investigators came together over the murder of their good friend Jackson Elias, who was investigating the infamous Carlisle expedition, the members of which were all formerly presumed dead. That led him, and now you all, to a conspiracy involving various death cults around the world. Many names, many forms, but all the same and to one end. You theorize that these cults are amassing in specific locations around the globe and working together to build a machine of some sort, though the particulars and purpose are still unknown to you. In Shanghai, where you are currently, you know the cult in question is called the Order of the Bloated Woman, and that Jack Brady, a member of the Carlisle expedition, is somewhere in the city and in danger. Last time, to get specific about it, after the revelation about Anthony, the party took a turn. Ganymede gently interrogated Anthony on his allegiances while perusing Madame Lynn's occult collection. Zeb, Irene, and Charlie argued among themselves about their too trusting nature until Victor, Irene's ex, joined and basically dragged Charles for filth. That's in my notes. Zeb approached Madame Lynn for a more private conversation. Charles and Irene then moved to the collection, and Charlie really wanted to get up close and personal to one of the books, because that's just how he is. Fortunately, Anthony just so happened to have glass cutting tools up his sleeve. It's a pulp talent, it's fine, it's a pulp game. Whee! Charlie worked on the case while Anthony distracted Madame Lynn's servants. As Charlie touched the book, he saw flashes of something being brewed, a liquid that looked a lot like the fluid in the vials Ganymede discovered in New York City. Wow, so many episodes ago. It's a liquid Charlie doesn't recognize, but his demon does. Anthony was forcefully escorted out of the party while Zeb got acquainted with the final members of Madame Lynn's household staff, 2 large white gorillas. Well, and here we are. There it is. There it is. So, Zeb, you are in this room sitting across from Madame Lynn. What do you do? What do you say?
Well, those are certainly some big boys, gals. I don't know.
Oh, good. You notice
Very,
them. Sometimes people don't notice till they're much closer. This is Tun Tun, and this is Ping.
Well, it is a pleasure to meet both of y'all. Definitely taken aback. Not the weirdest thing he's seen, but
But very close to you.
yeah, they are very big. And I mean that's certainly saying something. Yep.
I believe. Have you ever heard of the lost city of the White Gorilla?
No, I can't say that I have.
Well, how can I help you?
Oh, well, now you can't just leave me hanging like that. You can't mention something like the lost city of the White Gorilla and not, I don't know if there's a story attached to that, personal, folklore.
It's a bit of a... I don't like the word obsession. It's a bit of a point of interest for me.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to, I'd be all ears listening to it. I'm a bit of a writer myself, and so, I love being able to hear, stories and tales and whatnot.
Well, I do have a book in my collection. Did you get a chance to walk through it?
Not yet. I was a little waylaid, but if you wouldn't mind, I wouldn't mind taking a gander at that later.
Perhaps.
Well, I suppose I got a little sidetracked there. But I suppose you wanted to talk.
Well, there was the whole matter of you following my agents, my employees, and then watching the house. There was the not so subtle mention of a man it seems we have a mutual interest in.
Yes, and all those, those two things are definitely related. Now, as you obviously know, we are both interested parties in finding this Jack Brady. Curious why you're looking for him. I hear he is quite the hottest item on the market right now, I suppose. Seems everyone's looking for him.
Well, I'm only interested because he stole something from me.
Any chance a curious mind could know what that was?
Book. Well, it's in the form of a scroll.
Yeah. Well, our interest in him is mostly just want to question the man about some other stories that we were following.
What kind of stories?
I don't know if you've ever heard about the Carlisle expedition, but I'm doing a little in-depth study of it, and well, he seems to be the last remaining member, so I am mighty interested in hearing what he has to say.
Huh. She actually, as with Zeb and older powerful women, she's a bit disarmed by you.
That's Zeb. He's disarming.
So what kind of skills does she have? Let's see. Okay.
I would definitely. Zeb is definitely trying to get a read on her at the same time.
Yeah. Why
she
don't
respond to?
Yeah. Why don't you make a psychology check too? I know what I'm gonna do with her failure. That's actually better. I love it.
By the way, chat, down below you can find options for donating and, perhaps
Affect the
helping out
Help.
your favorite resident good boy reporter deal with two large gorillas.
They're not doing anything to you. Those gorillas are fine.
They are
Yet.
vibing.
Just vibing.
Yet. All right, let's do this. Hey, regular
Nice.
success.
Nice. Okay, so let's see what you'd know about her. So, I don't know if Zeb has played cards before.
Sometimes.
Uh,
Occasionally.
she has a lot not on the table right now. Right? And that's the kind of player she is. She'll never reveal every card that she has. And she's obviously kind of, to you at least, obviously, holding something back. But with her failure, she thinks you're playing a role. And her face grows more serious. Do you really expect me to believe you're just following up on a story when you have all sorts of interesting things in your rooms? You and your friends.
Well, I should be surprised, I suppose, to hear that you've been through our rooms. Although the more I certainly look into the Carlisle expedition, the less I am surprised by. I mean, are you surprised by what? I mean, I'm for following the story. It's like, I don't know if you've been, I don't know how much, I mean, you've certainly got a very interesting collection. I mean, you should know whenever following up on all this archaeological and sort of exploration stuff, you do tend to get a very eclectic collection of things along the way.
Oh, yes, like, Tun, Ping. And they move off deeper into the room and return with a couple of familiar looking things. You're surprised, I think, at the dexterity with which they do this, because some of the items are quite fragile. They set down next to her on the chaise lounge Charles's books, the amber-colored vials from Ganymede's case, and 2 photographs, one of you and your sisters, the other of a baby. Having room searched, I always think, is a useful way to learn about the people you're potentially working with. So I thought we could do kind of a quid pro quo, since you seem to be keeping rather a lot back.
I mean, I really feel like I haven't. I've basically told you exactly the reason I am here. I mean, I've got interesting acquaintances, but like, it's all part of writing the story. I don't know if you've ever heard of a writer by the name of Jackson Elias, but I'm kind of like his protege.
I have no idea who that is.
Well, that is unfortunate. I would recommend picking up one of his books. He does some very interesting sort of investigative work into sort of like death cults and other cult stuff, and it's all very interesting. I'm gonna skip over, the whole thing of like, taking other people's stuff isn't very nice. I mean, you would know that, what with the whole Jack Brady situation. I do think that we would like those things returned.
Oh, of course. Just for the answers to some questions. And then once we get through that, you may ask me some questions. Sound fair?
sounds fair. I mean, I will tell you, and I'll tell you, you know, I won't talk about things that are private to my associates. That is not my place to reveal about them. But shoot.
I think she holds up. The books first. Looks over them. Tell me about your companions, their specialties, areas of interest.
I mean, Charles is into that real mystical stuff, I suppose. Studies that. I mean, they're all here as sort of to help along with the story and stuff.
Yes, of course, your story.
Zeb's just like, I don't know why this person doesn't believe me.
Because she failed her psychology check.
Yeah, no. But Zeb's like, you know, he's the type of person that's like, when you are telling the truth and someone's like, yeah, right, but why are you here? And you're just like, Miss Graves, well, she's more of our sort of archaeological, anthropological expert. You know, she's very well traveled and read, and you know, she's also you know, half the reason I'm still alive these days. The other half being Miss Blackwell, who is a mighty fine artist, you know, and she'll be doing sort of all the renditions of things that, you know, I think books are well accentuated with, you know, drawings here or there to when things are a bit more hard to describe sometimes. Zeb just sort of sits back and smiles, and I think he has a drink, so maybe he just takes like a drink.
Yeah, I think she'll hand the books she's taken over to you. Actually, no, she hands them to Tun Tun, who then brings them over to you.
Yeah, Zeb sort of looks at them, and because I don't think Zeb's ever taken a close look at these books.
Yeah, no, they're they're terrifying to behold.
Yeah. Zeb's like, yeah, no, Mr. Rapp has a very strange interest in things. He just kind of sets them to the side.
All right. What other places or people have you considered going to in your search for Mr. Brady and your story here in Shanghai?
Around here, trying to think about what. She's got a beat on things.
She does.
Yeah, I mean, there was that kerfuffle down at the flower houses. I think that he was involved with. I don't think that really went anywhere.
Well, the flower girl Jack Brady was seen certainly went somewhere. I do not know
we did hear
exactly
that.
where, but I can hazard a good guess as to who took her.
Oh, well, I mean, I think that was something that we were interested in finding out at some point.
Well, perhaps. Who else in Shanghai are you interested in?
This is This is me trying to remember.
The one that I think you've only asked Mr. Lee about this one person. And Mr. Lee had a very large reaction. But you haven't asked anybody else, not anybody in the know.
Oh, that's right. We've got the whole Sea Devil and the oh god,
what's the guy's name?
Min?
Min?
Nope.
No, Min is the contact, Jack Brady's contact.
Yes.
The underground contact. Where?
I think you would remember this. I'm happy to tell you, but it's always fun.
I know I have Ho Fang.
Yeah.
Ho Fang.
Ho Fang.
Ho Fang.
Yeah, that didn't come up with McChum, and it didn't come up with Anthony.
Yeah. Zeb's, trying to get a read on her. He gets...
She certainly has some freaky deaky stuff in her collection.
Yeah. He's just trying to... I think one of my associates was interested in what... I think they go by... Ho Fang, I think. I don't know. We haven't really had much time for that.
I think she starts to smile and she covers it a bit. Probably to give the effect of like bashfulness as opposed to laughing at you. Mm-hmm. Now, why would you be interested in Ho Fang? If you are just writing a story, little innocent American like you.
To be honest, that's actually a very good question. It's not really my angle that I'm working. As I said, my associates kind of have their own things going on, and I'm happy to help them along with it as they're helping me along. Like, Zeb knows I don't think he cares as much about the Ho Fang angle as other people in the group.
Makes a lot of sense.
So he's like, yeah, that's more of one of my associates thing. I think they were interested in, I don't know, honestly, I think some import exports maybe. That might be it.
She repeats the motion like she's trying.
But yeah, like I said, that's not really my angle that I'm working here. So I know a little bit less about that.
Okay. She hands she gets Ping this time, and hands Ping these vials, these fragile vials, and Ping is cradling them and brings them over to you.
Yeah, no, my associates definitely I have no idea what these are.
Oh, think of them as powerful hallucinogenics. At least that's what the uninitiated would say. In reality, they're far more transportive, though one can become quite lost that way. Quite lost indeed.
So they're like very extreme drugs. I got it. Understood.
She's like having I'm gonna give her another psychology check. Because either you are the best actor in the world, or she asked the wrong. Hey, there it goes. Yay, good job. Good job, Yenyu. Oh, I think she's like, you see her finally like she's looking at you like, come on, sir, we know what we're talking about. And then she's like, oh wait. Huh. All right. And then she holds out the two photographs. I guess you wouldn't necessarily know the significance of the one with the baby.
Nope, absolutely not. I have no idea. That has not been revealed to my character.
Do you think the name's written on the back, Kienna? For fun? For
Probably
fun?
the first name. Probably
Yeah.
the first name, Anna. Yeah.
Because we don't have enough Annas and Annies in our lives.
They're significant.
This-
Also, it's the 1920s, and like
So
all the
true.
baby names are like.
My best friend in high
Same.
school was named Annie. It's everywhere. Okay. She holds out the 2 photographs. You have quite an extensive family, Mr. Montgomery.
Yep. Got a lot of them. A lot of Montgomerys out there. I mean, there's a lot more that aren't in that picture, but you know, they're out in the countryside. Haven't really don't really know the other side of my family too well. Outside of Grammy and Gramps. I mean, you already know what that is. I mean, that's. Would you like me to introduce you to all of them? Now, see there, that's Rosemary.
Oh, no,
that's
please.
Lillian. Oh.
Please don't. Though, I mean, at least this one is very fashionably dressed.
Oh yeah, that's Anna. She's got
That's
sort of her own
Anna? She's like looking at the back of the photo that you can't see.
Yeah, have you heard of her? I mean, I know that her designing business is starting to take off, but I mean, this is an awful long way for that to have made the rounds.
Another question. This might be something you pass along to your companions. I'm not sure if you speak for all of them.
Certain matters, sometimes. Other matters, not really.
I would like you to pass along that if you were to return my stolen property, if you were to get it back from Jack Brady and return it to me, anything you would like to know about, say, Ho Fang, could be yours very easily. In fact, I have an associate outside who, if needed, could get you access into his warehouse. Have you met Victor Gallo?
Yep, I have. I cannot say that, I would have to say that our meeting has been much more pleasurable than with him.
All right, Mr. Montgomery, if there's nothing else.
Well, I mean, I do remember that you said you might. I would like those photos back.
Oh, of course, she hands you yours.
I suspect that is one of my compatriots' photos.
Yes, well,
I think they would like that back as well.
I haven't asked a 4th question, though, and I'm not sure you're the person I need to ask it to. So I'll hold on to this one.
Well, I am gonna have to let them know that you do have a photo of someone's, just.
Oh, certainly.
Wow. I do believe you said you might answer some of our questions if I answered some of yours.
Yes. Did you have a question, young man?
Well, you seem to have a inkling upon where Mr. Brady's paramour might be hiding out.
Oh, not hiding out. She was most certainly taken.
Or taken, that's right, yes. Or who might have done the taking. It might go a long way in helping us, perhaps return your scroll. your stolen property if we could follow up on that lead.
If I had to guess, I would say Mr. Ho has her. Well, if she's still alive.
No, we're talking about Ho Fang, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Though, if she's at the warehouse, I'd be more surprised. His house, his actual home, is like a fortress.
Do we have an idea of where that is yet? I think.
Yeah, it's
okay.
With Mr. Lee, it's pretty easy. It's not like hidden away or anything.
That's what I thought. Well, I mean, unless you could tell me anything about the Carlisle expedition, or I don't know. You ever heard of what is it? The Cult of the Bloated Lady? It's another little thing that I'm doing some research into.
You are an interesting man. Yes, well, I was just waiting to see if you had made that connection yet with all your other talk. The Order of the Bloated Woman worships an aspect of a god, a faceless god. And Ho Fang is their high priest. She looks very amused.
Well, that's very interesting. You wouldn't happen to have any books on this order? Anything that might give me a little background information for, well, my writing, I suppose?
Yes, your writing. Yes. She's amused and frustrated. I don't have any writing, as it would be a mistake to be caught with any of their anything really associated with them. They like to keep it all very secretive. They don't even hold their rights on the mainland.
Well, they don't hold their rights on the mainland.
Correct.
Okay. Well, if anything comes up, or anything that might help me, sort of more information about the Carlisle expedition, or anything that comes up sort of in my studies, I'd be greatly appreciative if you could perhaps pass that information along my way. I think you know where we're staying, so I'm sure that wouldn't be hard for you.
She just smiles graciously.
And if there's anything I can do for you in the future that is within my abilities, me personally, this is not me speaking for the group, this is me speaking for myself in this case. Well, who knows?
If you could get me that book back, I think the two of us could be intimate friends.
Well then, it has been my pleasure chatting with you, and
Yes, it has. Oh, before you go, Madame Lynn stands and makes her way to a side cabinet and withdraws a cup containing yarrow stalks. Zeb, if you would like to make an occult roll, if you wanna, you could. You could.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Hey!
What's 90 points of luck, right?
You don't have it.
I don't have it.
Okay. So she goes over to this cabinet, withdraws a cup containing yarrow stalks. She casts the stalks onto the cabinet top and mutters to herself, writes something down. Union with 9 in the 5th place. Interesting. She then takes up one of the many scrolls resting in an exquisite lacquer stand beside the cabinet and reads aloud from it. And I will show this to everybody. In the hunt, the wise king uses beaters on 3 sides only. Foregoing game that runs ahead, the quarry chooses its own fate.
That is a very interesting quote, poem. Can't say I'm real familiar with it.
It was lovely talking to you, Mr. Montgomery. She's still holding that last photo. Of course, this will be returned to you as a token of goodwill at some point, or if you return my property to me, and we can go from there.
Of course. Then you have a very lovely evening. Seb's Seb's got a pile of books and some vials.
Yeah.
He's gonna walk out of here with.
Yep.
He's got books under one arm, vials under the other.
I loved that so much. Let us cut over to. Let us cut out to the others. Anthony has just been thrown out. This is maybe 10 minutes or so ago. And you're together in the main area of the party. What do you do?
That's a good question. Charlie, are you still having
I'm fine.
a conversation, a vision conversation with your fucking demon?
We were talking a little bit.
You sure were.
I think that I'm probably gonna not. I don't think I would still be talking to them. My demon just said that they know what it is, so I'm gonna just put a pin in that conversation for later. And I guess I think he snaps out of this vision, and that's like when Anthony is like getting thrown out, right? So
Yeah.
he kind of like has like looks at himself in that reflection and then shakes his head and takes a step back. Where's Ganymede when Anthony is getting thrown out?
Ganymede is not far from the room where all of the books and artifacts are, just kind of outside of that, I think, in the main room where we entered. Mm-hmm. So she's got a clear view on both sort of sides. She just saw Anthony get kicked out, and she's watching you as well.
Okay. I think I would nod like over towards Ganymede, like to Irene, just to be like, let's talk for a second. And then make my way over to Ganymede. And I think, yeah, he's put like the glass cutter or whatever like in his pocket. Well, I guess there goes our guide for the evening.
I think Mr. Chang fulfilled his purpose. It's not unintentional.
And Zeb's still back there.
As far as I know, he hasn't come out this way at least.
Mr. Chang left this with me, and she holds up the notebook that he casually gave to her. I assume it was only for temporary purposes, but
Might as well take a look.
I wonder what might be inside that he did not want anyone but us to get a hold of.
yeah, Irene's just gonna very quickly flip through.
Yay! Okay, I want to show everybody.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm so excited. Let's go to the map screen. Whee! We're here. We love to see it. Show to players. This is on the first page. Let me see. Do I need to make this bigger? No, that
Ooh.
makes it too big. Fine, you just get this one, chat.
Okay, we're getting
Wow.
ciphers.
Ciphers! There are only 2 in here.
Okay.
This is so fun. I put these together. And if you don't want to solve them live, you don't need to, but...
Well,
Yeah,
I already
not
know
gonna happen.
that F must equal to I, because the only logical sense is if I.
Hey!
that.
Good job.
Which
And then
means
X is
it's
probably
likely-
A.
It's
if
probably
I
an
am.
AM. So
Okay, so you
Oh, boy.
definitely... Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you definitely have the cipher. The lines at the top are a clue to what the cipher is called, but you don't need to know what it's called to figure it out, as you have.
yep.
The group is huddled around this notepad.
Super casually.
Super
No
casually.
biggie. Definitely not suspicious at all.
And it is, and Ganymede likely recognizes the other one.
Yeah, she certainly does.
Beyond this page, though, it devolves into, it looks like math equations. On and on and on and on. But this page is different.
We'll have to take a look at this when we can get back to the rooms and have a moment to
Yes.
sit down and pick it apart.
Your safe rooms, yes.
Our very
Super-
safe rooms.
So safe.
So safe, much safe.
Well, once Zeb tells us that people are sneaking around. then
No,
we'll
I'm
just-
I'm just having a good time.
I know. So I managed to touch that book. I saw something really strange. And I think like he'll pretty much tell them the entirety of the vision, like about the like being in the clouds and being slammed on the ground and then being in a lab and like all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like that breath, like I don't think he's really, I think he's gonna give them like the too long didn't read version. Like he's gonna try not to leave anything out, but like really condense it down so that he's not like spouting this stuff like out in the middle of this party. And he'll just kind of shrug a little bit and say, I don't really have context for what it all means, but it seemed important, this thing that they were making.
And Ganymede recognizes this, right? This is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Charles will also recognize it from the vision of your
Right.
parents.
Of Ganymede's parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would say that much as well. Just say,
Yeah.
That's what they were. That's what they drank.
She holds her eyes for a second after that, but then looks back down at this notebook. And just seems to be very focused on the ciphers on this page.
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe we should hang close to the curtain just in case Zeb needs us. And probably slowly migrate in that direction.
Yeah.
Just so if there's like a scream or something,
Sure.
we're like very prepared to
there
hear
wouldn't
it.
be a scream. So.
Well, like a thump of a body hitting a floor.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you head over that way, and that is when Zeb emerges with holding your stuff.
Yeah, Charlie's like, what the fuck? He looks at your
bearing
books like,
gifts.
So why do you have
Stolen
this?
goods.
Zebulon, these are fragile. Please be
Yes.
careful.
I recommend you don't drink them, apparently. Or you do, and you... I don't know. I think they're drugs. Very, very strong drugs. That's what it sounded like. Something about taking you on a journey or something like that. Anyways...
But why did you bring them?
I did not bring them. Did you see me walk in here with a bag of all of your goods?
Take my books back.
Yep.
So, someone else
Yeah, I wonder
took
who.
our things.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder who. Maybe this is a conversation we don't have here. I will say she still has one of our things, though. I don't know whose it is. Picture. It looks like a kid, baby, someone's baby. I don't know. Childhood picture. Still got that. Wouldn't let that one go. But I do have some new leads also on our case.
Charlie can feel Irene tense up next to him.
And
no response.
Yep.
No emotional response.
Sure. To add to the tension, I don't know if you might have an emotional response when this happens. These servants who threw out Anthony have returned like during this. They like walk past you all near the curtain back, and then they come back out. One of them gestures to Victor. And he walks over, kind of like, excuse me, like coming through. And you see him go back behind the curtain.
Can I go too? Can I try and go too? Can I tackle him?
Are you asking in sincerity?
I'm asking in sincerity.
Okay. Are you trying
because
to,
Charlie knows things.
Are you trying to like grab him? Are you trying to like just like not
I'm
like
trying to cut him off basically from going back?
Like temporarily or permanently? I guess. What?
I would if I could go back at the same time as him, that would be the most ideal thing that could happen. But stopping him from going back is the second most ideal thing that could happen.
Okay. Okay.
You know, like that like you like cut in, like
yeah,
you're basically cutting in line.
Yeah,
getting in front of him.
I see what you're trying to do.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm putting down? You picking it up?
I'm hearing it, definitely.
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you make I guess a dex check?
Okay.
And they will also make a dex check. There's 2 of them, so they both get to roll.
Okay.
If you're trying to, like, cut in there.
Yeah. A hard success.
Nice.
Fuck.
Okay. So, again, it's the woman who is just... She is just fast on it. And as you try to go in front, she steps... You try to get in front of Victor, and then she steps in front of you, and Victor's like... Okay, and is going to continue to move around. She says, "You have not been called back."
He can't go back there.
He has been summoned. I think at this point she says, I have already thrown out one guest.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he just takes a step back.
Okay. Okay. So what are we doing?
I don't know if right now's the time, Charles. Zeb sort of leans in. I think we need to chat first.
I don't really know that there is going to be another time.
I think we have a way to make sure there's a time. This is Zeb saying very quietly, by the way. Like, I think we can make there be a way for there to be another time.
I don't think you know what you're talking about, Zeb.
Well, I mean, you can either trust me or you can
This
get
is-
yourself
this is-
thrown out here, and probably all of us thrown out as well. Charles, I promise you I will do whatever it is that I can to help you. I don't understand the exact nature of your relationship with him, and I can understand at least a little bit of the hate you feel for him. Gods know I've only known him for about 30 minutes now, and I hate the man. But I cannot imagine what it might be that makes you hate him this much. I have a guess, but know that I will do whatever I can to help you and Miss Blackwell in regards to this person.
He kind of like looks at the curtain, and you can tell like it's like he doesn't really care at this point like about getting thrown out. Like that's secondary to what's going on behind there. But he doesn't know what you talked about with her, and he like doesn't want to ruin everything that we're trying to do while we're in Shanghai by like barging in, right? Or by making a scene. So I think that he just kind of like nods, and you can see like his hands were like kind of clenched in fists, and he just shoves them into his coat pockets with his books like tucked under his arm.
Zeb does like the shoulder squeeze, right? Because I imagine Zeb that placed like a hand on his shoulder when he started getting very aggro and does a shoulder squeeze, and looks at the rest of the group. You know, I never did. He pauses for a moment. I never did get her promise whether or not she'd let me look at that book. Well, I think we'll probably be back here anyway. But unless the rest of y'all have something to do, well, I think otherwise, I think it might be time to find a good place to talk.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Okay. Mr. Lee has been waiting for you all outside, I think. Because he's back on it. I don't know if he said.
Yeah, he's back with us.
Yeah.
I don't think we explicitly said it, but I think we would want him.
Yeah. He definitely
just in
didn't
case.
come in, though. No way.
Totally fine.
I remember his reaction when you said you were going to a party there. If you wanted, it is after sunset. If you would like to go to the J. Lilly Foundries to meet Ganymede's contact, who has been studying
That's
those
true.
blueprints, we could.
And I think
do
Zeb
that
would definitely.
tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Zeb would definitely want to find a place that's not their rooms, because
Mm-hmm.
clearly that's not safe.
Right. I mean, you'd probably be getting on like a tram to get, because this is going to be, you're going to be going to number 4 on.
We are going way out there.
Yeah, you're going all the way over here, and you were quite a bit of a ways south at her home. Because her home is at 31. Goodbye, Anthony Token.
Wow, we are way down there.
Yeah, way down here. Anna. Boom. So you were all down there, and you're going way up here. But you have Mr. Lee with you, and he will lead you.
Yeah, I think on the walk over, Charlie is just like kind of like hovering near Irene. Like very protectively, like to a point, like he's always been pretty protective of Irene that Ganymede and Zeb would have seen. But this is like to a new level, kind of. Like there's definitely an energy that's going on, that's coming off of him.
Yeah.
That's very, very palpable.
Yeah.
At this time of night, is the tram car full?
No, it's pretty empty, I think.
Is there anyone of particular note around us?
If you want to go ahead and make a spot hidden check, go ahead. While I find the blueprints. Good job. No.
Great. Not great.
You're
Not great.
fine. You're fine. Blueprints, blueprints. Ooh, I can actually switch to my other, like, background music for Shanghai. I just called it outside sounds. Haha. And I assume, Irene, tell me if this is right or if you've been doing something else with the knowledge. Have you and Ganymede been, like, poring over the notepad?
Yeah, I think it's this absolute, like, she is. For Charlie, he knows this is her way of shutting down, like, stress. Is to just, I'm gonna focus in on a thing now, and that thing happens to be the book and its code. So yeah, I think it's this back and forth of just like passing the notebook back and forth. I think Irene pulled out her own sketchbook as well and started writing down the cipher based on her knowledge and of like it must be if and then I and then going backwards in terms of what shift it is, which is a 3, actually 23 because it's going backwards, 23 letter shift. So just going back and forth, I think. But when she's not writing, I think that she has her hand and it's holding on to Charlie's sleeve.
I think, yeah, somewhere along the way, both of you have figured out the cipher. So if you want to tell us what it means, maybe I should pull it back up because it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'll just pull it
Yeah,
back.
it's
Yeah.
cool.
Yay! I made
So-
a puzzle.
Yeah, so the top bit, I haven't looked at the middle at all. The top bit is a Caesar cipher, so thanks to that Latin at the top there. And Caesar is just, I used to be really into secret codes and spy shit as a kid,
Yeah.
so like I don't have this knowledge in my head. Is where it's a pretty simple way you're just doing shifting the alphabet by a certain number of letters. Usually you tell them how many in some coded way. So basically, we're shifting each letter by 23 in this particular one, and it says, "If I am captured by agents of the faceless god, alert the league."
Alert the league! And then there's a list. And Ganymede, what did you figure out the bottom said?
Ganymede immediately recognized the symbols on the bottom when she was a girl growing up on the Daring. It was kind of the responsibility of the whole crew to educate her. And I think it was the radio operator who was into ciphers and was probably her first math teacher as well. So she immediately recognizes this. It's called a tic-tac-toe cipher or pigpen cipher. And it is commentary from Anthony Chang on his new companions. It reads as follows: Rap may be compromised. Blackwell, green gang ties. Montgomery, skilled actor or really like that. And lastly, didn't Agatha mention seeing the graves?
I will not get over Montgomery. Skilled actor, oh, really like
Or
that.
really like that.
Yeah.
Nope, he's really like that.
He's just really like that. Oh, that cracks
Brilliant.
me up because it's the same reaction Madam Lynn just had. Anybody
good.
recognize the stuff in the middle?
That.
Haven't cracked that one yet, but yeah.
You'll get it. And you'll be like, oh, yeah, of course. It'll be great. Okay, let's get out of here, though. We're going to the Jade Lily Foundries. Back to faces. There we are. Okay, so Ganymede, how, your contact is named Shishiung?
Yes, that's right. It was on a relatively recent in the last 5 years or so, trip to Shanghai that Ganymede met Shishiung.
Mm-hmm.
She, after her experience with the pirates when she was very young, when she was 13, she learned, her grandfather and the other members of the crew felt it was probably wise that she learn anti-boarding techniques and all of that. And she came up with this idea for a very specialized weapon, which is now her shotgun boarding axe. And she brought that idea to Shishiung at Jade Lily Foundries, and they created it for her. So, but she has not been back since then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that is where we are headed in the dead of night.
In party clothes.
In party clothes, that's right. And as you're stepping off the tram with Mr. Lee, Irene, did you just figure something out?
I'm putting it through the coding, but yes, basically, those are initials, friends. I had to go. I was like, why is it 2223? I'm like, oh, because it's. And then I spotted the MM. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be Graves. So I'm going backwards, and I'm just putting it through my website right now to be like, hello.
They are certainly initials, and that is all I will say.
Yeah.
So, we disembark at the Jade Lily Foundries. It's a bit of a walk, even after you get off of the tram. And you can make your way inside. You are expected, so when you're ringing the bell late at night, you are shown in once you give your name. So the person who greets you mostly talks to Mr. Lee. And you are shown in. What does Shishiyun look like?
Yeah, this is sort of already just this part of town is very different. It is industrial, and there's a lot of places like this that are sort of walled off, but inside they're small factories or things of that nature. And I think you can smell it in the air. You can smell that sort of smoke and so forth. So as we walk in, we are led into it looks like it's kind of like a small warehouse, but it's dark on the bottom where the machine shop is. Because it's night and there's no one working.
Yeah.
But we're led up a set of stairs to a small office that kind of overlooks the floor. And Shishiyun is probably in their late 40s. They sort of a family business, and they are the youngest child in this family, and like built like a blacksmith, but wears kind of tiny little glasses and is poring over the blueprints even as we come in. I think they're all rolled out on a big drafting table.
Yeah.
So that's what we see as we come in.
You come in and they like whip off their glasses. Ganymede, what the hell did you send me?
She walks over and extends her hand and says, "I wish I knew. That's why I sent it to you. It's good to see you again."
You as well. You as well. How is it holding up? Where is it? You always have it on you, don't you? I would. Why are you dressed like that? They're just like rapid fire.
Yeah. It's rather a long story. We were at a party, but and she actually reaches back to where she has it hidden in the back of her dress. The axe head has been removed from it, but it's made to be removable. And so she lays it out and says, "It's got quite a bit of use lately, if I'm being honest, but still the balance it's perfect."
As it should be. Who are these? Your companions?
Yes, of course. These are the friends that I spoke of. We've been traveling all over, gathering bits and bobs like this. So, what do you make of it, though?
Let me make some tea. They head over and start making tea with a little something extra in it. Finally, sits down and runs their fingers, kind of pushing the hair they have back. Okay, so as far as I can tell, there are two sets here. There and they spread them out. There's this one, much, much older. I could not even date this, but the technology seems to be modern. But everything else about it is very, very old. It's very confusing. But this is new. This seems to be an adaptation of this one. They are about the same thing, but updated. Like someone is reverse engineering this old one to fabricate modern versions.
Yes. Yes, that makes a great deal of sense. And what about this? And she kind of points to a particular component that she thought looked like something that was perhaps I don't know. It would sort of look like a jet engine is what she thought it looked like. Although that's a thing that only exists in theory at this point.
Exactly.
But,
yes. I see the valves, the regulators, and yes, it reminds me of things that well, people in this country are certainly working on. People in Japan, people in the States, where you come from, all over, but nothing has been exactly like this. But this is something even beyond that. This is something that could theoretically go I think they go like
so some kind of aircraft then? It doesn't look remotely aerodynamic.
I think it's possible something like this could go all the way into the mesosphere of Earth.
And more to herself than to anyone else, she says, but for what purpose?
Yes, precisely. I have no idea. That's not on these. This is just for, that's all I can tell. It's definitely meant to fly, and to fly very high.
Are there anything else that you can tell? Materials, particular materials for construction that have been identified? Even the smallest detail might be helpful to us.
Let me look for more details. We love details. Where are you? Where are you? More weird science. Excellent. Hey, and we got the whole cipher done. Nice. I think there's a part on here that they point to that kind of looks almost like the central domed part of a lemon juicer. Odd little drawings of wheels, different wires have been noted. I think it's meant to go somewhere in particular. There are calculations that some are beyond me.
Well, I'm so grateful to you for taking a look. I knew you'd be able to decipher some of it. Well, I owe you a favor, old friend. Is there anything at all that I can do immediately to repay it.
Not that I can think of, and you certainly don't owe me anything. Although, if you find whoever's doing this, I would prefer they not know that I know what is going on with this at all.
Yes, oh, of course. Not a word of it. Well, I'm, as you can see, away from the daring for a while, but nevertheless, if you need to reach me, getting word to them is a reasonable way of doing so. You might also speak with Mr. Anthony Chang at the Shanghai Courier. He may have some knowledge of our whereabouts. I expect we'll be here for some few days more.
They nod, give you all tea before you go.
Does this look like a safe? This is like an
Yes.
office? So like this looks like
This is like, it's like within a walled place as
So
well.
it seems like before we head out, and Zeb would have been glad to finally meet. He's probably heard about them, and so he would be. He also drops the the whole can he get if they could form some sort of like I'm not letting this one go. Apache revolver, which is the brass knuckles with the fold-out pistol and a little knife on the end.
Love this.
I think they look very excited. Okay. Depends how long you're going to be here. I have a lot on my plate, but check back in a number of days.
I will gladly pay you for your time and effort on.
Yes,
on
you will.
And I hate to impose, but do you mind if we talk for a few moments? The place we're staying may not be the best, the best place to keep private conversations. I hate to impose any longer.
No, go ahead. I'm going to try and forget everything I saw here. Folds up the blueprints, hands them to you, Ganymede.
Yeah.
And leaves you alone.
All right. So Zeb will tell them everything about his conversation. With Madame Swallow.
Awesome.
And that it seems like Ho Feng is our next lead to follow, and specifically about Victor's apparent in with Ho Feng, and sort of the deal of if we return her, Madame Swallow's, Madame Lin's scroll, she'll give us an in with both Ho Feng and time with Victor away from her. Who knows? Maybe he gets us there, and maybe he doesn't come back. Zeb doesn't say that, but like
I'm gonna give him so many hit points.
Oh, that's fine. Let Zeb beat on him long. But yeah, so Zeb will mention all that and sort of how he came to get the things. So you can see why I didn't exactly want to have this conversation back at our villa.
Ganymede really fastens onto the idea of the liquid as transporting you somewhere, given the vision that she and Charlie have seen of her parents.
Yeah. You also remember what Beatrix found out about the liquid, that it had this really bizarre reaction with what is it called? Was it hydrochloric acid?
Yes.
Yeah, it had a reaction with that intensified the caustic properties.
And just to clarify, were we like privy to everything that you found out about the blueprints?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
just wanted
we
to
were
make
all
sure.
right there together.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, because Charlie is thinking of that first part of his vision that he just had with the book where he was like up in the clouds
Mm.
and then came back down. So like that whole like something that goes like way in the sky that feels kind of connected. Plus flying beasts. Just lots of sky.
Yeah.
Lots of sky stuff going on.
Yes. Sky.
Well, this is all very strange and very mysterious.
I feel as though we nearly have all of the pieces of the puzzle. We just don't know what the
Puzzle looks like.
what the picture is. Yes.
And Zeb, you also know from your successful psychology check, Madame Lynn certainly didn't tell you everything in this initial meeting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I'm certain that she probably knows more. Maybe about Cairo, maybe more about all these cults. I suspect getting her scroll back would go a long way to getting us into her good graces to get a lot of questions maybe answered.
So the issue becomes we're getting the scroll for her so that she'll get us in with Ho Fang, but it's likely that Ho Fang has Jack's partner and may already be planning on getting involved with them somehow. I don't really know.
Well, Victor could get us into his warehouse.
Is that conditional on us getting the scroll?
I believe so, yes. Now, whether or not we need to get into that warehouse later, well, that doesn't really matter. We may still need his help later on, even if we don't need his help. If you catch my drift.
So we're still back at the issue of we don't know where Jack Brady is.
No, but maybe his lady friend might. Maybe she can help us get in touch with that Min person.
Yeah, but that's the issue. It's kind of all circling back on itself because if she's been taken by Ho Fang, then we need to see Ho Fang to get to her, to get to Jack Brady. We need Jack Brady to get the scroll, so...
What I'm saying is that we figure out this Jack Brady thing, and whether or not we need to get in with Ho Fang later, or if we've already done it, we'll still have an in with Madame Lynn.
All of that's true, but we don't know where Jack Brady is.
Ouroboros.
Yeah.
Yes, well, perhaps we do our own little reconnaissance of Ho Fang's fortress, as she called it, and see if we can't get ourselves access.
Well, we've never really struggled exactly to find our way into places that we wanted to see, have
Just
we?
out of them.
It depends on how stealthy we want to be, too.
Well, I mean, if this girl was taken to the fortress and, you know, she can only get us into the warehouse, then it makes sense that we would go to the fortress, the house, or whatever, on our own.
Do you suppose that we know that the cost of getting Victor's help through your new friend Zeb, but I wonder if Victor might have his own price that he'd be willing to lend his aid for.
I'm gonna go by the expressions on both of their faces right now. He looks at the rest of the group.
I wouldn't be surprised. Zeb, you said that, Madam, Swallow had a other picture of a child?
Yeah, little baby, little tyke. Zeb will describe the picture, obviously. Um, I don't know if one of y'all got like a niece or nephew or something, or is that a baby photo of one of y'all?
Doesn't look familiar to me.
It, belongs to me.
Well, your niece or nephew, they're mighty cute.
My daughter. When I, left New York for Peru, that wasn't the first time I left New York for a, trip. I knew that I couldn't have I couldn't raise a child in the situation I was in. And with her father being, being a con man. So, she's, in, West Virginia. And it appears that, as much as I try to keep her safe, she appears to be my, biggest point of leverage. Victor doesn't know. It just has her name on that picture. I don't think that she would, neither, he wouldn't know based off of that picture, but
That's why I tried to get in before Victor got in.
I'm, sorry for not, telling all of you before.
I mean, I don't see any reason for you to be sorry. That's up to you, whether or not.
Again, it made if you remember, we, when I had to make that painting back in New York, it's because, Don Ricci, knew about her.
Yes, yes, of course.
I know what we're doing here is, greater than, you know, strange relationships. If we need Victor's help, then we need it. It's been almost 6 years now. I think can at least put that aside for a little bit. You don't have to worry about me or my the complications there. We need to move forward with what we're doing. And whatever we have to do to keep going.
Well, that's also your call to make. Although, Charles, you're gonna be able to play nice for a little while at least.
I don't know about playing nice, but I can play.
Like I said, I promise that in this, whatever case, in any matter of Victor, that I'll back you up on it. That goes doubly so for you, Miss Blackwell. You say the word and I will kick his ass into the bay to be devoured by strange fish people.
I think a small smile curls up the corner of her lips. Thank you. So, I guess we go see if he has another way in. Unless you have any other leads.
I think this is our best shot.
Okay, so are we headed back to the guest house for the evening? Great. Make spot hidden checks on your way.
Great!
Great.
Trams aren't
Lovely.
running anymore, so sad.
So
Long walk
sad.
back.
Tell terrible.
me who gets the best success. Well, Kienna got a 69, though. I guess Zeb's 9 is nicer. Okay, so Zeb with the extreme success. We love to see it. You all are walking on your way back. Mr. Lee is leading you exactly where you need to go. And then, Zeb, you notice there are more people walking around at this time of night than you would think there should be. And they're all kind of in, like, factory workers' clothing, got their workers' caps.
I'm gonna nudge Ganymede. Awful lot of people about for, what is it? It's like past midnight at this point?
Yeah, it's pretty late, yeah.
A lot of people out and about for, this time of night.
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
She just nods and starts to take it all in herself.
You, Zeb and Charlie can definitely, once it's pointed out to you, Charlie, these people, they're definitely armed. And they are moving in such a way. There are a couple behind you. You see a couple on, like, alleyways, keeping pace. And then, as you come to a particularly dark and lonely street, one steps directly in front. Ganymede, you recognize him as the stocky man in the worker's cap who you've seen before. He pulls back his coat and he's not wearing a coat, it's hot out. He stands in such a way to reveal the butt of a gun sticking out.
Visible tattoos at all?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
We need to raise all of their arms.
Everybody?
Take off your shirt, put up your arms.
And just steps in front of you, and you see all the others have moved in such a way to be basically cutting off your, like, exits. And he just, like, holds up a hand.
Can I help you, sir?
He speaks first in Shanghainese, and Mr. Lee says he wants us to go with them across the river.
Oh, where across the river?
Mr. Lee translates, basically comes back with to a warehouse. And I think Mr. Lee crosses himself like, I knew these guys were going to get me killed. I knew these guys were going to get me killed.
Charlie, I think we'll put a hand on Mr. Lee's shoulder and give it a reassuring squeeze. And I think he just kind of says to Mr. Lee, if they were, at least they want us to come alive for now. So you can stay here, probably.
He thinks about that. This says as much back to the man.
Yeah.
And the man nods. Okay, yeah, no, he says I can stay.
Charlie will look at the group and say, so do we go? I mean, they could always kill us there once we're there, but I mean, I'd like to see what's across the way in a warehouse.
We're definitely like out peopled and gunned, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's probably, I think, 8 or 9 of them.
Like, Charlie definitely knows, like, we could make a fuss about it, right? Like, we could make a scene and if we wanted to, but they haven't, they're threatening us, but they're not outright attacking us.
Correct.
And Charlie's thinking like, well, probably somebody wants to talk to us because I loudly asked about Jack Brady in a bar one time. Never forget.
Never forget.
Yeah. So yeah, Charlie's like, gives a little bit of shrug. Might as well.
Okay.
The night is young.
Zeb will nod.
They do seem to have us at a disadvantage.
Mr. Lee, we will be back, and if we're not back, just tell somebody.
He nods.
Yeah.
And you are led. It's not very casual, but it is dark, and there aren't many more people across the street. A few times you see, like, the whole kind of group stop and, like, look around at certain places, especially when you get into the more crowded areas. But you are eventually hop on a boat and head across. And on this boat is where I think we're going to leave it, as this gentleman says, "My name is Chu Min, and I hear you're looking for Jack Brady. And that's where we're going to end this episode of Masks of Nyarlathotep. Next week is our 50th episode. It's going to be wild. Can't wait. Let's do some quick outros, starting with Tommy.
Oh man, please. God, I was personally sweating during that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy, it's easy being Zev where you're just kind of like, yep. But I am, oh man, I'm super excited for next week to finally have met Chumin and see where that goes, and for our 50th episode. And I've really enjoyed the conversation. I love all these things. Like, is this guy for real? Is this really what he does? I was like, yup. This is Zeb. But yeah, you can find me on the interwebs at Imperator Pengu on the Twitter sphere. I do tabletop RPG and video editing stuff across the interwebs. Got nothing else right now, so go follow these amazing people and all their amazing projects. I personally am going to say go listen to Missing Annie Lee. I've finally been able to start it, and I have several hours of driving over the next couple of days to listen to more podcasts, so go listen to it.
I want to know everything you think, Tommy. Just send it to me on Twitter.
I've only gotten through the first 2 episodes, so I still got a bit.
Yes, good. Can't wait. Speaking of Missing Annie Lee, Summer, outro time, go.
Me, hi. I'm Summer. You can find me on Twitter at JustSummerJob. That's where I tweet and retweet about everything that I've got going on. Go listen to Missing Annie Lee. We're almost halfway through release. Episode 5 of Vanishing comes out next week. That's a halfway point. Lots of stuff is going to be revealed. Lots of stuff, huge plot things. Please go listen. It's so good. You still have time to binge and catch up. Okay, that's all.
Beautiful. Allie, outro, go. Mwah.
Hey, this was awesome. I love how it's all coming together. And I'm Allie. You can find me on Twitter at Allison Robinson with 2 L's and a Y, where I tweet about space and robots and TTRPGs and other cool stuff. If that sounds like your bag, follow me there. I will see you next week.
And Kienna.
Yeah, I'm Kienna. You can find me over on Twitter at KiennaS. Best way to figure out what I'm doing when I'm not here on the channel. Mostly just here on the channel, though. My brain's trying to think. We've got some cool, exciting stuff coming up here on the channel in association with our Twitch team, Team Emporium. So keep an eye out for that and all that good stuff. I may be DMing a special one-shot or something soon. We have to figure out dates.
What could it be?
What could it be? Who knows?
Who knows?
You have to just keep up with us.
Yeah. And I'm Lauren. I'm that salty ginger over on Twitter. Go listen to Missing Annie Lee. Tell us what you think of it. Tag us on Twitter or do a review if you can, if you're not listening on Spotify. Or just yell at me. You can send me a DM. I don't care. I just want to know what you think. We will be back on Wednesday with Against the Stars at 2 p.m. Pacific. And then on Saturday here for Masks of Nyarlathotep for our 50th episode. Maybe we'll dress up. I don't know. Whatever we feel like. We'll get fancy as we head into, 50 episodes. It's wild. But otherwise, catch us on Twitter at Salty Sweet Games. Go over to our YouTube, also Salty Sweet Games, if you ever miss an episode. Thank you to our sponsors, Roll20, Dice Envy, Grinding Coffee Co. Thank you all for watching and subbing and resubbing. So cool. Thanks for the follows, y'all. And we will go raid our friend Invert, and we will see you next week.